Well, good morning. Welcome back to GP Outdoors. This might look familiar to you. This little section right around that bend. About a month and a half ago, on video number 185, you may recall that I'd taken some advice from some of the subscribers and decided to use my rear blade to dig out rain ditches on the sides of this section of driveway, and I used the land plane to smooth it out. So far, it's held up really well. Only been a month and a half, but you'll notice that the ditches are still there, and despite all the rain we've had this summer, the slope still remains on both sides of the driveway and the little rain ditch all the way down to the end. So it's worked out pretty good. It's packed down nice so far. Mind you, a month and a half in the summer is not a real test. The real test will come next May after we go through the winter and the spring rains, and we'll see how this driveway holds up. So given that we're sitting around the middle to the end of September now, this is pretty much the last chance I have to do any grading before the winter. So what I want to do is finish this section of driveway right from where I ended the last time and take it up to the top of the hill and get the whole thing done the same way. That way I'll be able to take a good look at it come next spring and see how well that method worked. If you've got a few minutes, why don't you stick around with me today, out here on GP Outdoors. Cheers. bladed the side of this slope 3 times on each side. Because I was on a slope going uphill, that's why you'll notice I pivoted the blade to one side, whereas on the last section of the driveway, you'll remember I just went up and down it because it wasn't too big a slope. For context, the lake is that way. So the top of the hill is here, and as you can see, this part of the driveway follows the slope of the hill at some points, and then it turns and goes across the hill. So it'll be interesting to see what the rain does. You can see here that I've got 2 big piles of gravel and soil, but there is a lot of gravel in here. It's crusher run that I put on over the years. I've got the 2 piles down here at the bottom of the hill. I think, unlike the last section, because I'm going uphill, I'm going to start planing uphill. Because what I don't want to do is I don't want to drag aggregate down to the bottom of the hill. I want to keep it on the hill. So I'm going to keep making passes up the hill until I get this smoothed out. So at least I know I'm not going to be losing a lot of gravel on the slope itself. Boy, no matter how many times you pass the driveway, you keep pulling up rocks. I'm pretty pleased with it. All the way up to the top of the hill. I've got some gentle slopes on the sides. I thought about not planing the middle because I know that's where your crown comes, but at the end of the day, we're down the slope of the hill here. So proof is going to come next May after we get through the rains in the spring. And I think I'm starting to get the hang of using this grading equipment a little bit better. On the video you saw, as I dug out the side trenches with the rear blade, it kept getting caught on roots or big, huge boulders under the surface. And of course, that would leave a big mound of dirt. When I went through it with the plane, you probably noticed in the video, the plane would get full with all that dirt and it would be just too much for it to handle. And I'd end up continuing to extend out those humps. So what I did is I took the position control on the 3-point hitch and I found a spot which was about number 5 for me, and I just left it there so that on the lower levels it wouldn't plane, but as it hit those big humps, it would just go through them and take it and spread it out into the lower areas. And once I did that 2 or 3 times, then I could go back to float. And that helped to smooth it out a little bit quicker, I think. So that wraps up the grading for the summer. I don't think I'm going to do much more before winter. But I'm glad I got this piece of the driveway done, and I'm looking forward to see what it looks like in the spring. Thanks so much for sticking around. If you like the channel, please click subscribe, hit the like button, and if you want to know when I'm posting new videos, just click that little bell. Have a wonderful week with your families, and I'll see you again on the next one. Cheers.